As long as you are tied to a condition, then you are mostly out of control. But when what you're reaching for is the alignment that is indicated by the emotion that you feel, now you're free to move about in the receptive mode with broader view guiding you. In other words, you can't get it wrong and you never get it done. You can't get it wrong and you never get it done. And you never get it done and you cannot get it wrong. And you cannot get it wrong and you never get it done. And you never get it done and you cannot get it wrong. It's going to take a while. You can't get it wrong. You never get it done, you can't get it wrong. The way I feel need not be tied to conditions, but that's not the best way of saying it. I want to be unconditional in my alignment. And almost no one is for very long, because the conditions have your attention. You've let the conditions matter too much. And so we get it. You're here. You've been living in conditions. The conditions of finance, the conditions of relationship, the conditions of environment. You are on the leading edge. We get it. And there's another seeming contradiction, because we began today by telling you, by agreeing with you, that you're here for the creation of the cars and the relationships and the homes and the life and the good feeling experiences. In other words, we like you to create conditions that are pleasing to you. We just don't want those conditions to be what matters most. We want how you feel to be what matters most, and we want you to put the feeling before the conditions, because if you put the conditions first, you never get there. Not really. So that is the biggest misunderstanding. The biggest misunderstanding is, all right, I'm going to go to this Abraham gathering, and Abraham has all this information about the laws of the universe, and in going there, I will be able to discover how to create a life experience that I can then feel good about. That's the misunderstanding. Because what this is about is, I'm going to an Abraham seminar where infinite intelligence is explaining the laws of the universe so that I can discover the bliss of being in the receptive mode, so that I can experience in now, the awareness that Source has about where I am. Because what you want is alignment and being here. You want alignment and then, alignment and then, and alignment and then, not then, which may help me to be aligned. That is the biggest misunderstanding. It's the cart before the horse thing. When we begin introducing to someone the understanding that you are vibrational even though you don't know that you are, that's a big step for most to take, because it's a different vantage point. It causes you to have to use a different part of your translation of vibration. Instead of using your eyes to see things that you can't see, or your nose to smell things that you can't smell, you've got to use your emotions to sense things. It's a different approach to life experience. So when we talk about blending, we're talking about the blending between who you really are and all that you have become and where you stand right now. We're talking about closing that gap. We're talking about finding a vibrational frequency that is who you are, but also can be reached by you. Jerry used to talk about, in setting goals, that you want to put the basket out far enough that it's thrilling when you make it, but not so far that you hardly ever do. You have to find some satisfaction in the experience that you're having. So the way that we've been talking about blending is just that. And this conversation about the path of least resistance is really the best conversation, the best way of explaining it that we've ever come to, because it helps you to understand the relationship between where you are now and the next vibration. We're going to say this delicately, the next vibration that is accessible to you by you, because we don't want to ever give anyone the impression that there is this place that you are responsible to achieve and that you have to get there. We want you to understand that that's an open-ended, because we are all continuing to evolve, state of being. And so as soon as you make it all right where you are and feel good about moving to whatever is better, then you start relaxing in a non-judgmental way about yourself. And then what we consider to be perfect blending occurs. We want you to feel from us that the blending that we are teaching is not some standard. You know how in school where they decide what the standard is and then you have to reach for it? That's not what we're talking about at all. We're talking about your inner being who is always meeting you where you are. Your inner being is always meeting you right where you are, because there's a tendency to think, oh, my inner being is in this really evolved and non-resistant place, and I've got to get way over there before I meet my inner being. It's not like that, because your inner being is always right here with you. All you have to do is turn from where you are to a vibration of reception, and then your inner being has you and is calling you again. So that blending, you don't have to go all the way over there to blend, because Source is meeting you right where you are. We haven't said that before. That's really a good thing to understand, isn't it? And so in the relaxing into the all rightness of where you are, into the allowing yourself to be where you are, and the knowledge that Source is there with you, as you just let your guard down, your things you've picked up along your physical trail, your I'm not good for this reason, or I'm not successful for this reason, as you little by little soften that, Source just keeps meeting you, and then it starts being fun. Because there is no finish line, because we are eternal. So there's no getting it done. So then what must there be? If there's no finish line at which point the reward will be given, what is there? There's satisfaction in the journey, period. If we say to you that your point of attraction is whatever it is, based upon what you're emitting, and that your now and your point of attraction and law of attraction are all converging now. And so before you were in this body, there was a now. There was a you that was only non-physical and only non-resistant and holding intentions of being here. Clear intentions of the deliciousness of this time-space reality and the potential that it provided for everyone coming forth into it. So if in your now there is a path that is calling you in a very productive, let's even call it best case scenario way, then it is logical, isn't it, that there was a path about your emergence into this time and place. So we are not going to discount in any way the timing of your emergence here or the intentions that you hold. But so many use those things against themselves instead of for themselves. You are the current creator of your own reality. And while Source is with you and always knowing the value and the worthiness and, here's a better way of saying it, always knowing where you stand in relationship to everything you want and calling with powerful precision, which creates a path for you to find your way there. That's the guidance that you're reaching for. And in the same way that we were explaining, you cannot put it in a book and guide yourself from that. You cannot put it on a chart. Someone else cannot interpret it. Oh, they can, but what is the accuracy of it? And so those who are involved in that, who are really successful and helpful for others, are those who are intuitively picking up on the energy of your calling. They're not those that are getting it, because that's changing constantly, you see. We find it interesting that anyone would think it prudent to dig up some text from 26 600 years ago or 26,000 years ago or any time before, written by someone else at a different time with their set of intentions, and try to guide your life by it now. When you have in real time, in step 4 living time, you have awareness of what is desired and awareness of where you are in relationship to it, and a powerful guidance to lead you to what? To lead you to what? Not to the fulfillment of everything that you think you want in those real terms, to lead you to the alignment, which is what you want for then to be in the creation mode of molding it into place. So anything that presumes that it's been predetermined or predecided, and that you're just here like puppets on a string trying to find your way to that, is discounting the whole reason that you're here. So the leading edge is being in the receptive mode to translate the vibration into the new leading edge thought. That's what the leading edge is these leading edge moments. It's being in a conscious awareness of all this non-physical energy that's focused right here and now with you. But you see, the leading edge is happening with or without your conscious awareness. But when you hook in to all of this that we've been talking about so that you are consciously aware of it as it's happening, that's really the leading edge as it applies to all of you. You don't have to be aware of law of attraction. You don't have to know about non-physical. You don't have to know about path of least resistance. You have to know about any of that in order for the leading edge to still be occurring. But to be consciously aware and in on the leading edge, to be in the receptive mode and know for sure that you just took thought beyond that which it has been before in the idea that came to you, the idea specifically tailored to where you stand and what you want, leading edge. We've been talking about that's what the evolution of all species is about. All that is, humans are the slow ones to allow themselves to consciously experience the leading edge. The beasts of your planet experience it all of the time, and you call it instinct. They're not remembering stuff. They weren't born with stuff programmed into their DNA. They're in the moment, receiving broader perspective and following the impulse and translating the vibration into something that is meaningful for them there and now. And that's why you don't have to worry about the survival of your planet or the survival of the species or the survival of anything, because everything is tended to from that broader non-physical perspective. You just want to be in on it. Because you, after all, you and everything else that is here in physical form are directing this evolution. All those who were here before you, even those who were species that you didn't even recognize as predecessors of that which you are, were all exploring and experiencing the atmosphere in order to offer the desire or come to the point of asking that summoned the basis of what was there when you came. In other words, we're all in this together. And as you acknowledge that, then you personally have a fuller and much more satisfying experience. So let us ask you a question. In this evolution that we've been describing of the vibration to the thought to the thing, what's more leading edge, the vibration or the thing? The thing is more leading edge. It's more fully developed. What's more leading edge, the vibration or the receiving of it? What's more leading edge? The receiving of it, the thought that occurred, or the impulses that keep coming that lead to a manifestation and fruition? This is the leading edge. We're all in on the leading edge, you see. So you do the asking for the leading edge, but most of you don't do the allowing yourself to be in on the deliciousness of the experience of the evolution of the leading edge. Yeah.